Hi, this is Amy, Master Herbalist and Naturopath, and today I'm going to talk to you about the subject of fatigue. So fatigue is something that we all experience usually at one time or another in our life, and it can be incapacitating, it can be mild or severe. So in general, it's fatigue, but specifically adrenal fatigue. Usually when we have fatigue, the adrenal glands are going to be affected. Whether we have a full-blown case of adrenal fatigue, we don't know. But let's deal with it in a general and specific way here. In order to really get to the root of it, whenever there's a serious matter of fatigue, we will have to address the adrenal gland. Now, the adrenal gland is basically the stress gland of the body, and it's about the size of a walnut, and it sits right on top of the kidneys, and it is affected by stress, and it affects stress. So when we have a stressful lifestyle or things in our life, there's different stressful events that happen in our life, the adrenal glands are affected in a great way. So the adrenal glands influence all the different major physiological processes in our bodies. They affect how we use carbs and fats, blood sugar regulations, cardio and gastro function, allergic reactions. They also affect our whether we develop certain types of diseases and the ability to respond to chronic diseases. When the adrenal glands are overstimulated by too much stress, then they lose their ability to function well, and then we can develop the adrenal fatigue, as I mentioned. Now, in general, the American lifestyle is pretty stressful, so we do have to address that if we're going to get any handle on our fatigue. Do have some level. In my consultation, I would say about 8 or 9 out of 10 people do have some level of adrenal fatigue. So that's a good deal. Now, let's go over some of the signs of adrenal fatigue. Here's just a general list here. Difficulty getting up in the morning, fatigue not relieved by sleep, craving for salt, lack of energy, increased effort to do everyday tasks, decreased sex drive, decreased ability to handle stress, increased time to recover from illness or injury or trauma, lightheadedness when standing up quickly, mild depression, less enjoyment or happiness with life, increased PMS in women, symptoms increase if meals are skipped or inadequate, thoughts are rather fuzzy or a foggy brain, memory less accurate, and decreased productivity. Now, there are also lifestyle factors that lead to adrenal fatigue. So we may not have adrenal fatigue, but we can actually develop adrenal fatigue through these different lifestyles or events that happen. Lack of sleep and staying up late, poor food choices, using food and drink as stimulants when tired, such as coffee and all those energy drinks out there, being consistently in a position of powerlessness, consistently driving yourself and trying to be perfect, lack of enjoyable activities, a university student, mother with 2 small children, 2 or more small children with little support, single parenting, unhappy marriage, extremely stressful and unhappy work conditions, self-employed or a new business, drug or alcohol abuser, alternating shift work that requires sleep patterns to change, all work, no play, unrelieved pressure or frequent crises at work or home, any severe emotional trauma, major surgery with incomplete recovery, repeated respiratory infections, serious burns, head trauma, loss of stable job, sudden change in financial status, repeated or overwhelming chemical exposure. So when we are continually faced with these different things that are stressful in our life, then eventually the adrenal glands just get fatigued. They get tired out. Different things like that in our life, like even a university student, what are they going to do? They do want to go to college. They, and other forms of different things that are happening, like even myself, starting up a business when I first started, and things that we do not have control over. How are we going to handle it without developing a serious case of adrenal fatigue? Well, that's where the herbs come in, and things that help us adjust and not be overwhelmed with the stress. Now, the thing with our adrenal glands and stress in general is that our adrenal glands does not differentiate between good stress and bad stress. So it can be a funeral, it can be a wedding. They're both stressful. So it does not get differentiated. Plus, there is no differentiation between physical stress of the body, such as colds, flus, infections, or emotional stress as relationship problems, stress at work. There's no differentiation between those. They're both a stress. So if you are with, or if you are, have contact with a stressful person or an unkind person who is, abusive, or, saying mean things to you, that kind of stress really is like a knife. Like even the Bible teaches that our tongue and what we say is like a knife. And so that's actually what's happening in the sense of the stress level, is you're getting cut up emotionally, and that is a stress. So let's talk about what we can do about it. The main thing that I like to use for any kind of adrenal fatigue, and fatigue in general, would be this adrenal formula. Excellent. Most people only need like one bottle, and it helps the adrenal glands recover. Now, some of the ones that help are the wild berry. I've had good reviews from customers here that it gives them energy. So, you may not have adrenal fatigue, but you may just have fatigue in general, maybe a light case of adrenal fatigue, but then you may not need to take this one specifically for the adrenal gland. This might be enough. Another good one would be our blood dirt. This one is very good as well, and helps you with energy. A lot of reviews on the blood dirt. So these are herbal vitamin powders full of good herbs, nutritional herbs that help revitalize the body and bring healing. So those are in general the ones that work well. And then you do want to reduce the amount of stress in your body and get good sleep and so forth. I hope this has been helpful. If you haven't, please subscribe, and we will see you again. Thank you.